So, if there's one thing that we all know has been true forever, it's that breaking into the US smartphone market is basically impossible. Like, it's been this duopoly for as long as time has existed, it feels like. It's Samsung and Apple. And in 2014, it was also Samsung and Apple. And then, LG and HTC and Motorola kind of fighting over the last few scraps of the last couple percent. And then this came out, the OnePlus One. You remember this? Like, some of you were around for these good old days, but for those of you who are too young to remember, let me fill you in. The hype for this phone was absolutely nuts before it even started shipping. It had all these flagship specs with the latest gen Snapdragon 800 series chip, and it was $300 somehow, which was unreal. Had this pretty clean design with this little new sandstone thing going on. And then it had this clean software. It was running CyanogenMod. So this developer-friendly, clean, no bloatware experience. It was a breath of fresh air. They called it the flagship killer, because why would anyone spend the $600-700 on the Apple or Samsung flagships anymore when you can get this? At least that's what the enthusiast mindset was. But of course, the enthusiast was also the only one who was gonna find the OnePlus One, searching online for new smartphones and actually buying one. You needed an invite to buy one. They had this whole system. It was crazy hard to get. But despite all of that, they still sold over 1 million of these things, and they were immediately on the map. It was just right recipe, right time. It looks genius. But of course now, they have a dilemma on their hands because they've captured the hearts of the exact worst customer group imaginable, the enthusiast. It's exciting because they're the most hype right now, but they're also the most picky, they have the highest standards, and they're somehow the least loyal because, if something else pops up with slightly better specs, then they'll just leave and go buy that instead. And it's the smallest group of people relative to the population. See that group right there? That's who you just got the attention of, the enthusiast, the early adopter. But there's this whole rest of the smartphone buying public who still doesn't even really know you exist yet. This is not sustainable, but it's a hell of a start. So now what?